The Cricut AutoPress just launched and I'm here to show you exactly how to use it. Plus, I'm going to be sharing a few of my favorite tips and tricks. A big thanks to Cricut for sponsoring this video and for sending me the AutoPress so that I could test it out before it launched. Now, if you're new here, then welcome to Sweet Red Poppy. I'm Kim, and if you have a Cricut machine, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I cover every single new product, I share the best in-depth step-by-step tutorials, and I share free SVG files to help you get the very most out of your Cricut machine. I also offer a Cricut book, and I have a full Cricut self-paced online course. Now, let me quickly introduce you to this brand new machine in case you're not familiar with it. The Cricut AutoPress is going to take the guesswork out of creating by utilizing a variety of automatic features. Now, it auto-adjusts to your project's thickness up to 2 inches, and it auto-releases as soon as the pressing cycle has been completed. It even comes pre-programmed with built-in presets for the most commonly used bases and materials. So the perfect amount of pressure, plus the precise amount of time and the exact temperature are all going to combine for flawless transfers every time. In addition to having automation, the Cricut AutoPress was really thoughtfully designed and it makes your job easier and safer. Now, are you ready to make a project with the Cricut AutoPress? My 30th birthday is coming up and I'm going to be making 10 custom t-shirts for all of my girlfriends. Normally, this project would sound like a ton of work, but with the help of my AutoPress, it's going to be easier than ever. I have a few quick tips and tricks that I have up my sleeve, and it's going to make this project so much easier. Now, let's go ahead and get started. Here are the supplies that you will need for this project. Gold glitter iron-on. This is smart iron-on. You'll also need a t-shirt, butcher paper, a Cricut machine. I'm using the Maker 3, the Cricut AutoPress, a weeding tool, and a pair of scissors. Let's go ahead and start off by creating your design in Design Space. Now, if you don't already subscribe to Cricut Access, I would definitely recommend it. You're going to get access to over 200,000 images, 700 fonts, and 1,000 customizable projects. You're also going to score 10% off on Cricut.com purchases, and you'll even get access to exclusive sales. Go ahead and click the link in the description of this video to get a free 30-day trial. Now, in the top right-hand corner of Design Space, go ahead and make sure that your screen is being optimized for the machine that you're planning on using. This is going to change the options that Design Space gives you based on your specific machine's capabilities. Next up, you can select or you can design your own image in Design Space. I'm going to be using a design that I made earlier today. Now, I couldn't help my millennial self and I had to go with a little 13 going on 30 reference because I've basically been waiting for this birthday since 2004 when that movie originally came out. Next, you can go ahead and adjust the size of your design so that it fits your t-shirt or your apron or tote bag, whatever it is you're planning on making. Now, I have a free download that's linked in the description of this video, and it's just a little cheat sheet to help you when you're making t-shirts. It'll tell you how big your design should be and also how far to space it away from the neck. Now, I am going to quickly duplicate my design. That way I can cut out a bunch of them all at the same time. Now, once you have your design ready, let's go ahead and click Make It. That is in the top right-hand corner. And I am going to be selecting without matte because I'm using a Cricut Smart material. Now, you want to make sure that you select mirror when you're working with iron-on or infusible ink materials. This is really, really important. I'm also going to adjust the length of my material. And what that's going to do is give me a little bit more space in between my cuts. So I can cut everything out at the same time, but I can also have a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm just going to readjust things on my mat, giving me a little bit of space in between. And now you can go ahead and select Continue. Step 2, prepare, load, and cut your material. For this project, I am going to be using Smart Material, and what this allows me to do is cut all of my designs in one go without needing to use a mat. This is one of my tricks for saving time while you're making products in bulk. Go ahead and insert your material into your machine. I am using this nice little roll holder, so I'm going to slide it under my white guides. Next, you can press the blinking play button. If you're using an older model, it might look like a C for Cricut, and this is going to begin the cut. Now, once your machine has finished cutting and you're happy with the result, go ahead and press the arrow button to release your material. Step 3, weed your design. For the more intricate parts of the design, like the insides of your letters, you're going to use your weeding tool to pierce your iron-on vinyl, and then you can peel it away from the carrier sheet. Now, when you're using smart materials, you won't need to worry about removing your material from the mat, which is one of the things I love about smart materials. You will want to make sure to trim down your design so that you have equal negative space on all 4 sides. Now, this is going to make lining it up with your t-shirt a lot easier in the next step. Step 4, preheat the AutoPress and your base. Now that your design is all ready to go, it is time to heat up your AutoPress. Now you'll want to plug your AutoPress into an outlet and then press the power button to begin preheating. You'll also want to unlock the machine on the side and make sure that your AutoPress is in the open position. Go ahead and turn the control pod dial to your preferred setting. Now this is going to preheat the AutoPress to the correct temperature, and it's going to set a timer. So I'm going to make sure that my temperature is set to 330 degrees and 30 seconds. Now on average, your AutoPress is going to take about 8 minutes to preheat. During this time, I usually like to prep my materials, that way I'm not wasting any time. Once your press beeps at you, you know it's preheated, and you can start preheating your t-shirts. Now this is a really important step because it's going to remove any of the wrinkles that might be on your t-shirt. It's also going to remove any moisture, which could negatively affect your design. To preheat your shirt, go ahead and place it on your mat. Make sure that it's centered, and you want to make sure that the area that's on the mat is the area you're going to be applying your decal to. Now I'm going to pull my AutoPress down, and you just lightly have to pull it down and then press down on this handle, and then it will perform the preheat. Now once the preheat is complete, it will automatically open. So let's go ahead and watch it do that. Okay, so you can see we have a nice flat pressing surface. Now, if you're planning on pressing a bunch of t-shirts, I would recommend that you preheat all of them at once, back to back. This is going to save you some time and kind of gives you that assembly line style. Step 5, position your iron-on transfer and press your design. Now, you may find it's a little bit easier to remove the t-shirt from the AutoPress and then prep it on a flat surface in front of you. This is totally based on your own personal preference. Personally, I like to make sure that the collar is slightly off of the mat. This is going to make sure that your press makes full contact with your design and the bulkiness of your collar isn't going to get in the way. I also like to bend my transfer in half, and I'm doing this with wrong sides together, and I just slightly pinch it just to give me an idea on the top and the bottom of where my center point is at. Next, you're going to place your iron-on transfer onto your base. Make sure that your sticky side is facing downward. And you also want to make sure that you are aligning it evenly, horizontally, and vertically. Now, your transfer should be placed a few inches away from the seams of your base for the very best results. So for an adult rounded neck t-shirt, I would generally place the top of my transfer about 3 inches from the neckline. Here I'm using a V-neck, so I'm going to go a little bit higher and probably go with about 1 inch away from my neckline. Next, you can press down on your carrier sheet once you're happy with your placement. And this is going to help the design to really adhere to your material so that it doesn't shift around. And if you feel like your design needs a little bit more stickiness, you can always add in a little bit of heat resistant tape. Let's go ahead and place our pressing mat onto the AutoPress plate. You want to make sure that you are lining up the sides of the mat with the metal. And again, I like to make sure that my seams are just a little bit off of the mat. That way they don't get in the way. Now go ahead and double check that your control pod is set to the correct time and temperature before we start. From here, you can press down on your AutoPress handle. It doesn't need very much pressure. And then you can lock it into place. Now, it's going to count down to 0, and it will beep and then automatically open once the press is complete. Now, one of my tips for creating t-shirts even faster is to use 2 Cricut mats. So you can see I have an extra right here. This is going to allow you to keep prepping your t-shirts while your AutoPress is pressing. Now, once your transfer has cooled completely, you can go ahead and remove the carrier sheet to reveal your finished design. You do want to make sure that you let your transfer cool completely before you peel it away. Otherwise, your iron-on won't fully adhere to the fibers of the t-shirt, and that will cause some lifting, and we do not want that. Now you have a customized t-shirt. Go ahead and repeat this process over and over until you finish making all of your t-shirts. Now, to care for your customized t-shirt, your apron, or even tote bag, you will want to wait at least 24 hours before you wash it. You'll also want to turn it inside out and then tumble dry it for the very best results. You can purchase the Cricut AutoPress on Cricut.com, as well as all of the products and supplies that I used in this video. Do you have a question? Go ahead and leave it in the comments below, that way I can answer it. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I'm going to be back next week with another fun Cricut video.